Well, hello! This is one of those videos that's pretty much just off the cuff. I felt I should do an update based on some of my comments about Stipula Etruria last week. So, this is the Stipula Etruria. I was having skipping issues, so I did a first impressions video because I was busy last week, and I just couldn't. I would write a little bit and then it would skip. I mean, not just skip, I mean stop. And then I'd be standing there holding the pen, even shaking it a little, just to get the ink to go down the nib. And then I'd write a little bit more, and then it would happen again. And it was awful. So I had a number of suggestions from some viewers, and I want you to know that it's working, and I want to show you why. First thing I tried, well, I did two things, which isn't really scientific, but I did them both. Cleaned out the pen entirely. I put in, well, after I cleaned out the pen entirely, I pulled out the nib and feed. They are friction fit, which I'm not going to demonstrate on this pen because it's full of ink. So I brought down a pen that comes into the story shortly. This is just a Jinhao, or a Hero. It's a Hero. And they're friction fit, so you just pull, and the feed and the nib come out. Like that. So I'll just leave those out because they come back into the story. So that was all right as far as it went. I used a brass shim to floss the nib, which I didn't bring a brass shim down here. But what it is, it's just a really thin piece of brass, and you just insert it between the tines of the nib, and you floss a little. So put the pen back together, loaded it up with Parker Quink Washable Blue. Boring. And proceeded to write with it. I got a few more, I'll concede, I got a few more lines out of it every time. But it still did the same thing. I'd write for a while, it would stop, I'd wait, watch the ink dribble, dribble, dribble down into the nib again. Then I'd write some more, it would stop, and just was, ah! So, an alert viewer mentioned that I had already found the solution, I just wasn't observant enough to realize it. This viewer pointed out that, why don't you try a similar feed? Now, admittedly, he wanted me to take the feed out of my Montegrappa Fortuna, and I'm like, no, I like that pen. We're not sacrificing Montegrappa Fortuna. So, instead, I took the feed out of this Hero. And the feed, this is the Hero's feed, so obviously there's more to this story. Looks exactly like the Stipula feed, which is, let's see if I can keep them straight. So the Hero feed is the one toward the top of the screen. The Stipula feed is toward the bottom. Now I look at them. I don't know about you, but to my eye, oh my God, I didn't realize how hard it would be to hold these two things. Duh, burn it. But to my admittedly inexperienced eye, they look the same. The only difference I found is that the Stipula feed has a 6, the Hero feed has a 7. Otherwise, they look exactly alike. So what did I say? The Stipula feed has a 6, the Hero feed has a 7, or was it the other way around? Oh well, I'll sort it out after the video. Who cares? Anyway, so it wrote a lot better once I replaced the feed. It would slow down, it would railroad a bit, I'd think, oh no, it's sputtering to a halt, but then it would keep going. I wrote 3 pages of a letter to a pen pal without stopping with this pen. Wow. So today came, Sunday, and I had another thought. Several years ago, I did a video on a Delta Serena, and I mentioned at the time of the video, at least I'm sure I did, that there were some cracks in the barrel, right where it screws into the nib, and where it screws into the section. And I wasn't too thrilled about that. But at the time, Delta was in the process of going out of business, so I'm like, yeah, like I'm going to get warranty now. So Delta, of course, is dead. But eventually, this happened. Not where it was cracked, actually. Just I was unscrewing it to put in to clean it because it needed a new ink, and the barrel just unscrewed right off of this bit. So that was a little awkward. And the pen has been no more heard of since then. I can't remember if I liked the nib or not, but I am going to salvage the nib and save it. It may work its way into a pen of some sort. So yeah, it just kind of sheared off right there, which, it was after I'd done the review, and I probably should have brought it up in a video or something, but I didn't. I wasn't doing pens in use yet when it happened. So, sad incident, it long in the past. But for some reason, I've held on to it, because it was pretty. It wasn't, a favorite pen, but it was a pretty pen. And of course, the cap is still in good shape for what it's worth. So if you're looking for a Delta Serena cap because you cracked yours, hey, hit me up. I can hook you up with one. Or, I guess if you're looking for a section or a useless barrel because the part of it's missing, I can hook you up there too. But you might notice I didn't bring out the feed because I had this brainwave. Let's put it in the Stipula. So I put it in the Stipula. Wow, it writes beautifully. Now I'm eager to put that Stipula saffron ink in it, which, by the way, somebody thought I was misspelling it last week. I would be curious to know why it's advertised on a lot of the pen websites as spelled Sappphron instead of Saffron, but that's beside the point. So I put it in this pen, and by the way, this feed is a number 1. And I'd love to know what these numbers mean, too, because I know I ran into a number 8 recently of the same feed. But let me just show you briefly how well it writes. So this was my last bit of scribblage. So, of course, this is not that beautiful ink, because that is a beautiful ink. The blue on my hands, by the way, is entirely unrelated to this video in any way, shape, or form. The blue on my hands is Private Reserve Tanzanite, and the bottle and I had a little confrontation on the way down here. I want to say that the bottle won, but it's in the trash now, so I think I won. T-Flex. Somebody suggested putting in goulet nibs. I'm not ready to go that far because I want to use this nib if at all possible. Yeah, we had a little railroading there. Oh, some more railroading. So it's not perfect. Wow, that was messy. All right, so let's see how this puppy swirberderbles. Oh, wow. I think that was my fault, though. So, not amazing if you're doing long scribbling sessions. But you'll notice it refills almost right away. In fact, at normal writing speeds, no problem. So is this ideal? No. But like I said, I wrote 3 pages with it, and that was with the Hero feed, and it's writing better with this feed. So, useful information, yes, it won't write continuously when you're going quickly, but it is writing continuously now. My purpose with these pens is to write. I can write. I am happy. This is good enough. Would I like to refine it more? Absolutely. But for now, I think that's good enough. So I thought you would enjoy this little update on Stipula Etruria. I'm going to finish this fill of Parker Quink Washable Blue. Then I will try to go back to the Stipula Saffron, see what's up. But the moral of the story is, just changing the feed, and it worked. But here's the other piece of the story. Here's this cheeseball little hero pen. Has the same feed as the low end of when Delta existed. Delta's line, the Delta Serena, has the same feed as this rather overpriced Stipula. So, what gives? Are they just all made at once? Do the numbers have anything to do with the quality? I don't know any of these things, but I just find it interesting. I have an Omas Ogiva, may Omas rest in peace, upstairs with an ebonite feed because they made their own feeds. And wow, what a wonderful pen. And this, I know somebody commented that it looks worse than a $5 pen, but I like it a lot. But why, Stipula? Why can't you have a decent feed to go with your nib? Why aren't you scared? And, you know, my fault, did not do okay, I'm screwing that up. I did not do due diligence to research Stipula. I'd never thought about Stipula before. I'd never really seen a pen that interested me, and I saw this and I'm like, ooh, fell in pen lust. Didn't do my due diligence and research it. If I would have known that it had some serious issues, and the company as a whole has some issues with its pens. Didn't know that. I wish I would have. But if you're Stipula, and that's the case, and people are saying this about you, don't you say, oh, we had better look at our quality control. Perhaps with our really expensive pens, perhaps we even bench test them, make sure they write. So, thanks, Stipula. And it may be unfair. Maybe I got a lemon. I haven't actually seen any statistics on Stipula pens. It could be just one of those things where a lot of people like to complain. They're dogpiling on Stipula, and that's who you hear from. I don't know. But if I were Stipula, I would be concerned. So, yeah, I won't be in a hurry to get another Stipula pen. I liked the looks of the Toccaferro, especially the one that had the orange ink reservoir, but that's not on my list anymore. Sorry. So, I just felt it was appropriate to bring an update, show you my solution, and keep them coming. Perhaps there's more. I had some suggestions about deepening the ink channel and whatnot. A little scared to do that, just because it's a plastic feed, but it may be an option. We'll see. So anyway, the main point is I've got it writing. I can do what I want to do with it. It fails the Pierre Gustafson test, but it succeeds as a writing pen. So thank you for watching. And by the way, before I close this, I will be, at viewer suggestion, starting a new series of videos on first impressions. I can't make any guarantees how it will last, because how consistent it will be, because unlike pen reviews, I go in spells where I might buy a bunch of pens, then I'll go 2 or 3 months and don't buy any. But it might be a good exercise in self-discipline for me, where instead of, I've got a new pen, I got to write with it, I force myself to wait till I can film a first impressions video. So, if you see my hands looking like this in any reviews, pens in use, well, it won't be pens in use, but any reviews or first impressions videos, this will be our little secret. Those of you who watched this, I filmed them today on Sunday, October 28th, 2018. So let's see what else I filmed today. Bye-bye.